or highest safety-rated 2022 Eclipse Cross. Ready to ride at $349 a month. And this is not a lease. You own it. Want 31 mpg highway in your SUV? We Gossett with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now $398 a month. Plus, at Gossett Mitsubishi, you always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So for our best deal, look no further than Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 2.9 APR, 3,000 down, 500 loyalty rebate, 500 military rebate, Sport NU 001422, MSRP 27010, Cross NZO 49092, MSRP 27,000, Outlander NZO 53093, MSRP 29615, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 1/31/2022, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here's your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome in on a glorious Friday morning, but I'm cautioning you, tomorrow everything changes. Rain, and then Sunday, really Saturday night, Sunday morning, snow. My guy, Ron Childers, he said one model shows up to 7 inches of snow. Now, we're doing locks a little bit later, but I would definitely bet against that. Childers, are you out of your mind? He said he wasn't sure about that model, too. I don't know if it's the European model. There's another model. 7 inches? Boy, if that happens here, we're paralyzed.
Sounds like the Winter Wonderland model or something like that.
It's just crazy. It is crazy. Almost as crazy as the Grizz winning their 11th in a row. This time it was John Conchar to the rescue. John Conchar. We'll get in that in a second. NFL playoff weekend. We're doing all the locks. We're doing all the games. That'll come your way in just a second. And then it's my guess, just like yours. I wish I could tell you for certain who will be playing in Greenville tomorrow against ECU. Will it just be the 7 that finish that ugly game in Orlando? We'll talk about that in just a second as well. Back to the Grizz. You know how the Grizzlies win this game last night?
How?
They win it because they kill Karl Anthony Towns, the big guy. They kill the Timberwolves in the paint. You know the final score on that was 66-38. The Timberwolves had 7 more threes. That's 21 points. 7 more threes than the Grizzlies. Didn't matter. Sometimes 2s are pretty good. And the Grizzlies just killed them there. And Conchar, he had 15 points, but the most important thing was 17 rebounds. So let me tell you something. If Pete Pranica is right about this, and when was the last time Pete Pranica was wrong? Come on. Pranica told us last night the 17 rebounds ties the record for the most rebounds from a bench player since, go ahead,
Zach Randolph. But I looked this morning, one away. Zebo had 18 off the bench. John Conchar had 17, tied for second now.
Oh, I thought it was 17.
I think he did say that because that's why I looked it up this morning thinking that was right, but it was 18. So one away, but still remarkable. Great company to be with Zach Randolph in that regard.
No question. And the Grizzlies, look, he does that. That's amazing to be tied with anything with Zebo, right? Because a lot of people think Zebo's the greatest ever. Well, Ja's going to beat him, but at this moment, I think they took a poll. The best Grizz so far in the history of the franchise is Zebo. You can make a lot of different arguments for that. I could. You can make a case for certainly Marc Gasol with the accomplishments that he had that Zebo never had. But most people, I think that the grit and grind, the whole symbol of it all is Zebo. So to be in that company is outstanding. But here we go. So Bain had 21, right? And Bain has become, arguably 2A and 2B with Triple J. Wouldn't you say, when it comes to importance?
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to find it. And they run their entire offense through Bain, so his importance is profound.
It's incredible. Just another day at the office for Ja and for Triple J. He had 14 and 8, and Ja had 9 assists and double in the teens, and everything, as you say, is predicated by what he sees and what his decisions will be. I think another key here was shutting down Anthony Edwards in the second half. Dude had 25 in the first half. I thought that this is another guy I watched in college and said, "What? No way." He was terrible against Memphis. I didn't ever think, and maybe that's the coaching at Georgia. I don't know, but he was not a good college player. Certainly not a great college player.
They just let him throw it up from 30 feet every possession, it seemed like, in college, but he's something else now.
Well, he was something else in the first half. He looked like he was back at Georgia in the second half when he only had 5. So the Grizz are now, this is amazing. The Grizzlies are now 30-14. They're literally only a game and a half behind the Golden State Warriors, who have suddenly hit the skids. They were down by like 35 or 40 at halftime against the Bucks and got demolished by Giannis and company. He just demolished. So I don't know what's happening to them. Maybe the Grizzlies stole their soul. Man, it's crazy. They haven't had Green. That's huge, right? And they're trying to reinsert Klay Thompson into the lineup. We talk about chemistry, and some people, that's just, come on. No, chemistry is so critical. It really is. And just bringing another guy in may take a while. But losing Green, he hasn't played the last few games. They just don't seem to get in their offensive sets the same way they did. Anyway, can the Grizz get to 2? Oh, speaking of which, how about Ja getting to number 2 in the All-Star voting by the people, which counts for 50%? I think he's going to be the starter. He's going to beat out Luka. As long as the Grizzlies keep winning, how can they not? And they face each other tonight.
And he's super popular, too. Like, not that Trae Young isn't popular, but there's a lot of fan bases when he comes to town. They don't like him. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find the Grizzlies going anywhere in the NBA where the opposing fans don't love watching that guy play.
I agree. As it says in my commercial appeal today, Morant is an NBA superstar. Big picture of him, front page, and there's no doubt. Fans now know it. They're voting for him. Only Steph Curry is more popular in the Western Conference than he is at the guard spot. So how about that? That is amazing. Speaking of the commercial appeal, do you see what they're doing? This is only the beginning. Only the beginning, folks, I'm telling you. They're taking away the Saturday newspaper. So we'll still get it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. I'm sure they'll keep Sunday for probably ever. But I think the other stuff's going to eventually go away. Here's my question. They're taking away my Saturday paper. Are they giving me any discounts? I paid for the darn thing. What's happening with that? They're telling me I'm going to have more options digitally. That's what they're telling me. I'm not sure I'm buying it. But I've already paid for it, so I guess I've bought it. And that is the bottom line on all of that. So, again, who will play for the Tigers tomorrow? I do not believe DeAndre Williams will, just based on what Penny has said. Penny has basically said he's out for a while. I hope he is able to come back for when they play SMU next week. I believe that's a Thursday game, a Thursday-Sunday.
Right.
So hopefully he comes back for that. I have no idea how long the protocols are with the concussion of Timberlake. I mean, he could be on this trip. I don't know. I just don't know. The way Hardaway was limping out of the arena in Orlando, I doubt he'll be back. Alo told me he's a week or so away, so I doubt he is back. So you could see only 7 for the game against East Carolina. And let me just say this. ECU is 10-5. They actually have a better record than the Tigers. Not in conference, where Memphis is now 3-2. They are 1-2. Now, they've lost 2 in a row. Both were on the road. At Temple by only 3, and by Cincinnati, and at Cincinnati by only 8. So they've been in those games, for sure. And they beat Tulane by 8, 88-80. So they can score some. They're better than the usual Pirates team. Their net is 146. And if you're going in with only 7, and Memphis has lost in that place before, not many times, but they have lost. You got to make your own energy. It's always quiet. This is a scary game tomorrow. There is no question about that in my mind. All right, we mentioned it is NFL playoff weekend. It is time, Jay Morgan, for me to catch up with you. It is time for our locks of the week. Normally we do 3. We're doing every playoff game throughout the NFL. We'll get back into NBA, and we'll do 3 when we get into that. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's do each game, and we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
First game up, Cincinnati at home against Vegas. Cincinnati is a 5.5-point favorite. I am sold on Burrow. I am sold on Mixon. I am sold on Chase, the rookie wide receiver who could be rookie of the year. I am sold on all 3 of those. Vegas is fortunate to be where they are. They really are. I love Bisaccia's performance. I think he deserves to keep his job. Oh, by the way, Culley did get fired yesterday.
Yeah.
That's stunning. 1 year, that was just not right. I don't think he got a fair shot there. Maybe they think they're getting somebody. Maybe they have a guy in mind that they think is a big name that can really be their turnaround guy, and that's the reason. That better be the reason why. If they don't make a great hire, and they fired Culley after 1 year, granted his record was terrible, but I just don't think that's right. I mean, he had no chance, no quarterback, all that controversy, crazy. Anyway. I'm sold on Cincy. I'm not as sold on Vegas. Give me the Bengals.
I think the Bengals are really good. They have great skill position players. However, I do think that in like week 17 when the Chiefs played a lot of man-to-man against them, and I think you're going to see the Raiders drop back in a lot of zone coverage. I think this game goes under, and because of that, I'm going to take the Raiders plus points. Plus, 5.5 is the number we're playing with?
5.5, yep.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Raiders plus 5.5.
All right, I like it when we're against each other. I need something to catch up. Buffalo and New England. Chapter 3, they split the first 2. First game was ice cold like it's going to be tomorrow. Ice cold like it's going to be tomorrow. But, that second game, Buffalo was pretty darn good. I think Buffalo is too good for New England. I hate going against Bill Belichick. I'm going to go with the home team, even though in the wild card games, underdog, road dogs do pretty well in these things. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm giving away the 3.5. This is one of the harder ones to pick. You got to pick somebody. I'm going Josh Allen.
I'm going to go, this is 2 back-to-back. I'm going to go the other way here with the Patriots.
Love it.
Really just because of the points. I think, like you said, it's really cold. I could see it going under, and kind of like betting on Nick Saban. I just got a feeling Belichick puts together a great game plan for this game. Even if they don't win, I see it being closer than 3.5, so I'm going to take the Patriots.
Okay. Now we go to Tampa.
This is
Now, wait a second. The weather's supposed to be really rough in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah. And so you were talking about the under? 46.5 is the over-under in that. I might take the under in that game if I were a betting man. But if we got to pick winners here, I just think Philadelphia is maybe yes, I'm going to say it. They're the worst team in the playoffs. They're worse than the Raiders. They're the worst team in the playoffs. I think if the Pittsburgh Steelers played Philly, I'd put my money on Pittsburgh. I would. Last game of the legacy of Roethlisberger, better coach. I agree with it. Yeah, no question. I would go with Pittsburgh. I think Philly's the worst team because of that. Who's the greatest quarterback of all time? Going up against the worst team in the playoffs? Give me Tampa Bay and the GOAT. I'll give away the 7.5.
I got nothing to add to that one. I'm also taking Tampa Bay. I think you nailed it. That's exactly right.
Okay, that's fair. Cowboys, 49ers. Didn't I just tell you road dogs do well in these things? I don't trust the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. How many playoff games have they won in the last 20 years? Like 4, something like that. It's terrible. It's awful. Jimmy G is totally underappreciated. It's time for him to step up and show the world just how good the guy, like I recognized him early in his career. I was telling you about Jimmy G. You'll be talking about him again on Monday. Jimmy G and the 49ers get 3.5 from the Dallas Cowboys. Give me Frisco.
I am terrified of this game because, to me, the Cowboys are much better than the Niners, but it seems like everybody I've heard is taking the Niners in this game, so I'm terrified, but I'm going to go with my gut here. I'm going to stay with the Cowboys minus the 3. I just think they got too many great players on both offense and defense. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Okay, we are differing on 3 games. This is my chance to catch you or catch up with you. Now we go to the final game on Sunday Night Football. This will be Al Michaels. No, he's doing the Super Bowl. Well, he's going to end up doing the NFL Thursday game.
Right.
You know that. He's not. I don't know why NBC. I guess NBC feels like the future is Tirico and they got to make him happy.
Waiting in the wings.
I know. He's waited, I guess he figures, long enough. And Mike's really good. But Al Michaels, he's on the list for possibly greatest of all time when it comes to football. Anyway, here's the thing that scares me. When Kansas City gets big leads, they don't absolutely knock people away. They don't have like the I'm going to beat the you-know-what out of you, right? And it's 11.5 points. And it's Ben Roethlisberger's last game, right? I mean, he's retiring, I think. I don't think he's going to go to another. He'd be stupid to, because his legacy is made forever in Pittsburgh. He absolutely should not go to another team. So this is probably his last game. But then again, Kansas City has too much firepower. They have to have the killer instinct in this game. They really do. They can't let Ben hang around. I'm going to go. I'm scared, but I'm going to go with Kansas City giving away the most points in the games this week. They're giving away 11.5. I'm going to still go with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
This is a pick I'm taking that goes against everything, every thought in my brain, every rational idea I have. Just because it's 11.5 points, I got to take the Steelers. I think that's too many points in the playoffs. I think Big Ben is terrible. I hate their offense. I can't stand watching them. But kind of like Bill Belichick, I just trust Mike Tomlin. So I'm going to take the Steelers.
Wow, we got 4 different games. 4. Count them, baby. 4 that are different. This could be a huge week for me. And then finally, the Rams and Arizona. This is in Los Angeles, which hasn't really been a great home field, I don't think. And I'll be honest with you, the quarterback of the Rams is Matthew Stafford. Great regular season guy. Matthew Stafford, I cannot trust him. A little like I can't trust Dallas in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford, with that pressure against Arizona, I know Arizona hasn't played all that well of late. I'm going with Kyler Murray because he was my MVP like halfway through. I'm going to trust in Kyler. I'm not trusting in Stafford. I'm taking the 3.5. Give me the Cardinals over the Rams straight up, baby. Even though I picked the Rams to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, you got to hedge your bets a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Rams. We had the morning show had Brandon Lang on earlier, who's a handicapper, and he said the same thing you said basically. Matthew Stafford, he's not a good playoff quarterback. He's consistently losing in the playoffs, and why would that change now? And then Greg made up the good point. He goes, well, Kyler Murray's never played in the playoffs before. And he says, exactly, he's never played, so he's not bad yet, so he had to take Arizona. I'm going to go the other way, though. I think Kyler Murray being young and not playing in the playoffs and Cliff Kingsbury not coaching in the playoffs is a factor. And I like the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams minus the 4.
Wow, so we differ on 5 of the 6 games.
Yeah.
Man, the only game that we're the same on is Tampa Bay and Philly?
That's right.
Wow. So I either catch you this week or we end this thing, this gimmick. Wow, that is fun. All right, there you have it. Those are the locks of the week. I'm sitting here in the Family Leisure Studios, and I'm reminding you all, we got the floor model sale. You can help make room for the incoming 2022 products, and they need to be moved because stuff's coming in. But here's the deal. The floor model sale is legit. It's a floor model sale. Once they take that thing from the floor, it's gone. So get there. I mean, you may already be late, but I don't think you are. Go see Billy. Go see Lindsay. Shop now because you've got a chance on theater seating, massage chairs, arcades, football and air hockey tables, shuffleboard tables, of course, the pool tables and more, even the swimming pools and the hot tubs. Get into it. Take advantage of the prices with the floor model sale. And you know our title sponsor is Homer Skelton Hyundai. Right there at Lamar, Highway 78 and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. And my friend Chris True, he'll say it all the time, you'll never pay above sticker price. Even though there's a shortage of new cars, and they're getting more and more in Olive Branch all the time. But even with that, and you can't say that for every other dealer, you'll never pay more than sticker price at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Go talk to Chris True and all the gang. They've been around as a team forever. They take care of you. They have raised the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. The Big Cheese, the head honcho of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, is Steve Earhart. He comes your way in just a minute.
Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio, presented by Tito's Vodka, from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
For years, I have talked to you about James Davis, the finest men's store in all of Memphis, the service, the selection, everything that goes with quality. And I've told you recently about the Stant Perfect Fit shirts. Well, now there's the Stant Perfect Fit pants. Absolutely amazing. Only 2 measurements fed into a computer, and all of a sudden, you've got the perfect fit pants. And I'm talking everywhere. The leg, the seat, the bottom, all made to fit your body absolutely perfectly. And there's 80 different fabrics to choose from. You will find the right look, the right fit, almost instantaneously. They start at $162, but you will never find a better pair of pants than these at James Davis Men's Store. And the shirts are still there, and guess what? It's the only place in Memphis that you can find Stant. That's the James Davis Men's Store in the Laurelwood Shopping Center.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
What a weekend of programming we have for you right here at Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Raiders and Bengals tomorrow, and then Ole Miss and Auburn And that'll be a terrific game because there's a really good chance that when Monday hits, Auburn, if they were to beat the Rebels, will be the number one team in the country. Then we got the Eagles and the Buccaneers, the 49ers and the Cowboys, the Steelers, and the Chiefs all on Sunday, and then the Monday night game that we just talked about, the Cardinals and the Rams, that'll be right here on Sports 56. The Big Cheese, the head honcho of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, will join us in just a minute. He's brought to you in part by Conway, and it's free furnace time. You know, John's always trying to figure out in January, slowest time of the year. Warehouse is full. Crews are looking for things to do. So John has to spark business. And he thought of this a few years ago, and it really works. He'll give you a Carrier gas furnace, 80% gas furnace free, if you get a new state-of-the-art standard Carrier air conditioning system. That's it. You get a free air conditioning system. Furnace if you buy the air conditioning system. And if that's not enough, John says, let me throw in an air cleaner. That's the April Air. It's great. 10-year parts warranty. Oh, and by the way, state-of-the-art free Nest thermostat. That's $2,000 in savings. And you're going to get the systems for as low as $139 a month or 12 months interest-free. Anybody can afford that. All you got to do is make the call, 384-3511. That's Conway. Steve Earhart does join us now, as promised. Big Cheese head honcho, give me your grades on what you thought about the AutoZone Liberty Bowl this past year. I know your TV ratings were pretty good.
Well, yeah, David, we were very pleased that, that number one, that the game came off in great shape after obviously a tough year last year with all the COVID situations and with other bowls having struggles there. But, we were really proud and humbled and thankful that we had such a great year. And that started off in the summertime when we had the Peyton Manning dinner, and Peyton and Archie and the whole group was up here in the summer, raised a record amount of money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We ended up, giving them $1.3 million. $1 million came through, Chris Moore's company, who was president of the AutoZone Liberty Association. And then we rolled into the fall with all our events, the Ladies of Liberty Luncheon and the parade, the gala, the rodeo, the high school all-star game was a great success. And then, as you said, the game itself was, again, Mississippi State fans were disappointed, but we had a terrific rating. It was the highest rating we've had since 2015. And if you take out the CFP bowls, the 6 bowls that ESPN just, pumps so much, there were 33 bowl games on ESPN, and we were the 5th highest rated, even though we had kind of a blowout game. So
really? Wait. Say that again. 33 bowl games. This doesn't include the playoffs, right? 33
right.
bowl games. Does that include the New Year's Day 6 too?
No, if you throw out the New Year's 6.
All right.
Then there were the ESPN had 33 bowl games, and we were the 5th highest rated.
Wow.
We beat the Gator Bowl, we beat the Houston Bowl, we beat the Charlotte Bowl, those bowls that are in our same grouping of the SEC pool. So 5th out of 33, and we were really pleased because when that second half, when it was a blowout game. For example, the folks that watched the game up in Nashville, that was they had a close overtime game, so they did beat us, but that's because they had an overtime game. So yes, and it's the highest rated event originate out of Memphis for the entire year of 2021. So yeah, it was a great opportunity to feature Memphis and our community. We had our halftime piece, with both mayors speaking and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. That message getting out to millions of viewers around the country.
Wait. You're telling me that 4 million, I think that's what it was, 4 million viewers?
Exactly. Just about right. Yeah.
Did that beat the Grizzlies playoff games on TV?
Well, there weren't any. Well, yes, it did. Yeah, because and that's the thing. And we're not trying to get in a battle with them or anything. But,
well, no, because you'd be battling with yourself. People forget, but you're a minority owner of the Grizzlies.
No, well, it's football during the bowl season. Everybody's watching it, because there's such a focus on football bowl season. So that's why, again, we're a benefactor of being part of people around the country that are looking in on bowls. But also it's a thank you to all the people in Memphis. We have about 150 local corporate partners, and then about 500 members of our association, and all the volunteers that work so hard to put it together. So yeah, we're very pleased. And again, it was a great year all in all, with all the trepidation about what's going to happen with COVID and with other bowl games, struggling. And I give a shout out to Mississippi State, because Mississippi State and Coach Leach, they did not whine. They did not try and make excuses. They did lose a few players there for the COVID protocols, but they stepped up and played, and they never mentioned it. And Coach Leach there in the post-game press conference, somebody tried to trap him. Well, did you miss those few defensive players? He said, I don't want to talk about that. He said, even though he's had his battles with Texas Tech, he said, I admire their plan and, the intensity which they played. And I think Texas Tech found a great quarterback, that big, strong quarterback who's going to be their key guy for the coming year. So, all in all, and again, thanks to everybody that worked so hard to put on all our events.
America loves football. That's all I can say. When the AutoZone Liberty Bowl in a blowout game, seriously, beats out the NBA playoffs in its own hometown, that says something about how much America loves college football. So let me ask you this serious question for future. Is the bowl system healthy? Because I think there's going to be a playoff expansion. And what will that do to your bowls? Or do you feel confident, especially one that keeps getting good ratings and the one that is one of the original 7 bowls, do you think you'd be incorporated in the playoffs?
Well, you hit it right on the head, and there's going to be challenges ahead, and change is coming to college football, and it's not just the bowls. I mean, the whole thing with governance and the NLI stuff is just blowing up, and it's free agency out there. I'm just stunned when I saw that, that the quarterback and the wide receiver from Oklahoma, what they're both freshman stars, and basically they stepped out and said, I want to hear the offers from other schools, and so now the players are just like the coaches, if you can get a better offer. So there's challenges ahead in college football, no question about it, but we are definitely, positioning the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and basically because of the strength of AutoZone, without AutoZone and our presenting sponsors, FedEx and Pennzoil and ARS, in fact, one of your sponsors, Hibbett's City Gear, and the great folks that step up with us, we believe that we can, have a seat at the table. But you're right, change is coming, and, there was the initial plan that was presented last summer. Remember, it had the first 4 games of the playoff system played at the home site of those universities that made the playoff. And of course, the bowls, I made a talk and said, well, that should be played in bowls. And again, the SEC, of course, we're in SEC country, so we don't want to go play a playoff game in Michigan in the end of December. That's not right, and it's not fair. And so they should be at neutral sites like the bowls. So that's one reason there's been some delays in the whole planning process of how is the playoffs going to change and what will be. But you're right. We have some challenges coming to us, and we're trying to gear up. And again, that's why it's just so important that we have a lot of good local support, and we can say, wait a minute, we have the kind of support. We certainly don't have the facilities and the stadium, but we've been making the Liberty Bowl Stadium work for years, and it's because of the hospitality. It was interesting that we got a letter from the band director of Mississippi State, and it came unsolicited to the Hilton Hotel. The Hilton was the host hotel for Mississippi State band. They said they've been to a ton of bowls over the last 20 years. In fact, some of the big Orange Bowl and so on, and said it's the best hospitality. We were treated better there at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl than any other bowl they'd ever been to. And so that's the kind of stuff that's so important. When Commissioner Greg Sankey came up to the game, and our SWAT officer volunteers met him at the airport, brought him over here to the stadium, and all the people that makes such a great red carpet treatment for everybody. So that's so important to us, as we have to sit down and muscle up against some of these other cities and these other people that are pushing as well. And with so many bowls, you hit it right on the head, David. We're the 7th oldest bowl game, but now there's 42, 43, and some new ones coming on board.
Well,
That new bowl game up in.
They make them up to get Hawaiian bowl games. So who the heck knows? Prognosticate for me, seriously here. Will there be? And you usually are on the money with these predictions. Give me your insight as to when there will be college football playoff expansion, if there will be.
Okay, yes, I think they definitely will be expansion of the playoffs. There's a debate now about whether it could come as early as 24 or whether we have to wait till 26. My own personal, prognostication, as you'd say, would be there's just too many forces, battling with each other, and so it won't happen until 26. So
how many
that means
teams?
we've got 4 more years left on the initial 12-year quote CFP contract. We've been through 6 of the initial and then 2, and so that means 22, 3, 4, and 5 will be played out, but the plans will be in place by 26. Now, there's some people pushing hard to try and get it in as soon as 24. It's impossible to get it done by 23 because there's too many things in place. But the reason I think it will be not until 26 is because ESPN controls the media through the 25 game. They have contracts. So ESPN would have to say, okay, well, are we going to tear up our contract and give a bunch more money, or do we hang in there?
Well, and college
they're going
football
to be put in a position because they say, well, if you wait until 26, then it's wide open. And whether the streamers like the Amazons and, the Netflix, are they going to get involved and bid on it and drive the price up? Or even the other networks, are they going to get involved? So ESPN may decide, okay, we'll throw some more money at the college football and redo it for the 24 and 25 games. So the issue is either whether it's going to take effect for the 2 years early, which would mean the 24 and 25, or whether the first year of the expanded thing would be in 26. But it definitely will expand.
It makes sense to me that it will be 26 because then you could get people bidding against one another and drive the price up. And even though the numbers are down a little bit from the original 34 million to 22 million for the championship game, that's still quite a number, and I think you'd get a whole bunch of people, especially if it was expanded, it would go up. How many will they expand to? That's my last thing for you, head honcho of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Steve Earhart.
I think 12 would be, again, my prognostication. I know that it's all over the place, from sticking with the 4 to go to 8 to go to 12 to go to 16, but I think 12, and then we just need to make sure, too, that we keep the relevance of the other games, because it's so important to a university to have a chance to have, a bowl celebration. And one thing, the president of Texas Tech, Lawrence Skuvenek, who's also the chairman of the Big 12, and Memphis made a big impression on him, and that was important for the University of Memphis because he was down there, he rode in the parade, I stood with him during the bash on Beale down in Andy Park, and he was impressed with the hospitality in Memphis, and he's chairman of the Big 12. But what also is going to happen, too, is there's going to be so much change in the governance, the whole NCAA issues, the NLI stuff, and that's going to be popping actually earlier than the expansion. I mean, one of the deputy commissioner of the Big 12 was here, Tim Weiser, and he said, well, is the natural progression going to be that the players become employees of the university? Because right now it's getting pretty doggone close, when you can go out and get your own NLI, and players are, you're not supposed to get paid to play, but is that really the reality of what's going on now?
No, you're right. They might as well end up being employees of the university when it's all said and done, especially if you're going to be in a league that's getting $50 million because of college football. So
you're right. So those things are going to be on the real front burner, because just look at, it's a benefit to the big guys that have the money, and is the right thing to do. I'm talking to Steve Hatchell, my friend, who's president of the National Football Foundation, College Football Hall of Fame. What's the right thing for the most number of people? What I was going to say about the importance of the bowl games, and I think of the bands and those people that were at the parade or saw the 2 great bands, Mississippi State and Texas Tech. I mean, there's 400 people in each one of those bands, and those are student athletes, if you want to use that term. They're students that are having a great time. This is their chance to come to Memphis, be in the parade, play at the game, have a great experience. And sometimes we forget this isn't always just about the 2 or 3 top players who can demand, some money or are going to go to the NFL. I mean, we're talking about trying to have a great experience for, 4 times the number of people that are in a band and a cheer group of a university. It's part of their university experience, and they're growing into adulthood. And so that's what I hope we can get across to most of the people, that this isn't just about, 2 or 3 top players on each football team. It's more about the entire university experience.
This is the big cheese, the head honcho of the AutoZone Libertyville, Steve Harrott. We thank you for all the stuff you did for us this year, and we'll do it again next year.
Thank you, David, and thanks to everybody who worked so hard to have one of Memphis's longest-running great traditions, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Steve, brought to you in part by Old Dominick. That's a proud partner of all of Memphis. The Tigers, you name it, they love it. They encourage all fans, football, basketball, to share a sip responsibly. If you don't know about Old Dominick, it is the only distillery in Memphis that will offer you tours, and they've been around forever, right in the heart of downtown Memphis at 305 South Front Street, 45-minute century journey that begins with the history of Old Dominick, like Domenico Canali. Yeah, he's the guy that started it all, came over with nothing, built up this empire. You get a close-up view and really an education on how distilling works from grain to glass, and then it ends with a tasting of all the Old Dominick portfolio of spirits. You can't beat it. And if you're looking for something late at night, something different, go to the Distillery Bar. Elegant yet not stuffy, right there at 305 South Front Street. Visit olddominick.com. You'll get all of the bar hours. And this portion of the show brought to you by my friend Sheldon. You know Sheldon. He's working away, even in these beautiful days, like you could be playing golf yesterday and today. Not Sheldon. Now, he may go try to slip away on a weekend for a couple of hours when the weather's right, but to tell you, he's the worst golfer in town for one reason. He's always working, and he really is. He's got this strategy. So you got a guy who's a tireless worker, who has a strategy that nobody else has, including Shellbucks, a marketing strategy that nobody else has been able to duplicate. He's just terrific, and he works it really hard. So he'll tell you. Talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers. Just make sure Sheldon is one. And then you'll understand why he works so well. MemphisRelocate.com, that's how you look at him. And then you get a hold of him at 483-0546, 483-0546. Sheldon, Rosengarten, Marks, and Bensdorf. We pause for a second. When we come back, we end the week with our NBA expert, our agent from Priority Sports in Chicago. That would be Andy Schiffman, and he's right around the corner.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get in the swing of things. Grab your friends, your clients, your employees, and go enjoy everything you love about Topgolf in a luxury suite while at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Topgolf Swing Suite is an immersive social experience offering guests a luxury private lounge to enjoy Erling Jensen's extraordinary food and beverage service, all while playing a selection of games in a one-of-a-kind simulation day. Topgolf Swing Suites are great for work outings, celebrations, or just getting together. It's fun for the whole family. It's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. They have more than just golf. They have soccer, baseball, zombie dodgeball, football, and more. Located at 5069 Sanderlin, adjacent to the Doubletree East Memphis. Check us out at swingsuitememphis.com or call us at 901-58-SWING. Again, that's 901-58-SWING at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Book your suite today.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitrol, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine that little blue pill on steroids. Noxitrol is so powerful. That's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitrol free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitrol dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitrol while supplies last. Call 1-800-231-8913. That's 800-231-8913. Free bottle for limited time. Call now. 800-231-8913. 800-231-8913.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. Hurricane season is upon us. Is your roof ready? Are your shingles laying down and sealed properly? Call me right now, 867-0303. They say you get what you pay for. That's why my opinion is free. Maybe you've got years of life left in your roof. If so, I'll tell you that. But if I find storm damage or a compromised roof system, I'll lay out some options for you. Don't let them tell you it needs to be replaced if it only needs a repair. Call me, 867-0303. Has your insurance company already seen it and rejected your claim? Maybe they're correct. Most of the time, they're not. They do tend to become more reasonable once I get involved, though. 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again, it's the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
To the Windy City we go. Our friend, our agent from Priority Sports, Andy Schiffman joins us now. Good morning, Andy. Well, the Grizzlies are amazing. Now, you realize they are 30 wins already halfway through this season, 30-14, 16 games over 500. No one could have seen that coming.
No one could have seen that coming, Dave. And what's even more remarkable, just even looking at that number, looking at the Grizzlies, 30-14, and then you've got powerhouses like Golden State, 30-11, Phoenix 31-9. I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies are 3 games out of the number 1 seed in the West, which is pretty remarkable.
And a game and a half away from a team they've beaten 2 out of 3, Golden State Warriors, who now suddenly are struggling.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the reintroduction of Clay back into that lineup. Obviously, I don't think he's quite at where back to 100% of the old Clay. He's not playing a full rotation yet. It seems like they're limiting his minutes a little bit. It's fun to have him back, but I just think look, I'm always going to give credit where credit is due, and I think in this case it's less about the Warriors, it's more about the Grizzlies. I think they are an elite defensive team. I think they're very unselfish, and the fact that through this win streak, it's not all just Ja going off for 30 points or Jerem having big games. I mean, you saw it last night. John Conchar.
Yeah.
The guy is a 6'5" guard going out there and grabbing 17. I think 17 rebounds.
Yeah, that's
pretty
was
unbelievable.
One less than the record, which is 18
Zach
off
Randolph.
the bench from Zebo. Yeah, incredible.
And guys like Conchar, guys like Brandon Clark, who's shooting 70% from the floor during this little win streak.
Yeah, he had 14 and 8 last night. I knew you'd bring him up. Tillman has played well. Tilly got you got him a new deal. We talked a little bit about that. All these guys, but Conchar. Tell me how anybody saw all this in John Conchar. I hate to say this, but Brett Norsworthy and I actually made fun of the Conchar deal when we first heard about it. And our feet are in our mouths, really, because this guy has turned out to be one heck of a player. How did Zach Kleiman identify that? Zaire Williams, another guy. How did he identify him? I'm amazed at that. I thought that was a busted pick.
Well, I first talk about Zaire. I think a lot of pundits and critics think that, yes, he might have been drafted a little bit too high at 10, but at the end of the day, that's a lottery talent. So I was just as much a believer as Zaire Williams. Obviously, there were other good players still on the board at 10, but if Zaire didn't go 10, still would have probably gone in the next 4 to 6 picks, let's call it. But in this locker room, with this coaching staff, with this front office, with these veteran players around him, it is a perfect fit. It's a very welcoming group. That's the thing. If you're a young player like Zaire, walking into a locker room and a roster that the Grizzlies have, that's a heck of a lot different than going into, let's say, a Philadelphia or Boston where you're just laden with all-star talent around you, and there's a little bit of a dichotomy or divide between those veteran guys and even some of these coaches. It's like a New York situation. Would he really even have this opportunity with the Knicks, playing with Tibbs, who's historically known for really not giving rookies a lot of opportunity? And again, you just talk about fit. I think he fits this team very well. And then Conchar, undrafted out of Purdue Fort Wayne, I just think you have to give a lot of credit to Zach for recognizing this player, this kid, John. He works his butt off. He works hard. He keeps getting better. And there's something to be said for those players that have a chip on their shoulder and that have that toughness and that heart. And Killian's the same way. So we're talking about Conchar, and just worked his way up and grinded. I think he was on a two-way, undrafted for his rookie year. And again, he just works hard. And there's something to be said for that. Throw rankings out the window. That's the other thing. When you have these players that are earmarked as 4- and 5-star players, McDonald's All-Americans coming into college, I don't want to say they're entering the NBA with a silver spoon, but they're conditioned maybe not so much to have that chip on their shoulder because everything's been quote-unquote handed to them in a sense, right?
Right.
They have been heralded their whole career up to that point. They've been being told their whole career how good they are. They've been getting big offers from blue blood schools and talked about being a lottery pick in the NBA one day. And then you got a guy like Conchar, goes through college, works his tail off, never really thought of as an NBA lock. Again, where's your heart? This is where we're going to really see how hard you're going to work, and it's a good test, and he's passed it so far. I'll say that.
Now, do you represent him? I couldn't remember.
No.
Okay, all right.
Do not.
But you know these things, whatever you can share with us. What kind of a deal is he under, and how long is it for, and what kind of a deal you think his next one will be based on what he's already shown?
Well, he is on, I believe it's a 4-year deal. Actually, I'll tell you here in a little bit. The Grizzlies signed him. I don't believe it is all 4 years guaranteed. He signed, let me pull it up here. He's going to be going into next season, the third year, a 4-year deal. And it's a little over $8 million over the four. Actually, it's about $9 million over the 4 years.
Okay, so
it's not all fully guaranteed, the whole deal.
It'll get guaranteed. So $2.25 million. What a deal for the Grizz for the next 2 years.
No, absolutely, and I think it's interesting for a player like that. Does he follow in the path of an Alex Caruso, who just works his tail off, finds the right fit, and maybe coming into the league, only one team truly had enough interest in you to believe in you and give you the opportunity. Now you show what you can do, and then you get other opportunities in free agency that could happen. But for sure, the Grizzlies have a very team-friendly deal. It's turning out to be a team-friendly deal in this regard because he can't just get up and go be a free agent and sign somewhere else. And they've got him at a relatively good value considering the productivity he's achieved this year and even a bit of last year. And so I think he's here to stay with the Grizzlies, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, they could always work to do an extension, I believe, next summer. So I think there's something to be said for the Grizzlies and for Zach trying to keep this core together. And the core is not necessarily always going to be just Ja and Jaron and Desmond Bane and Dylan. But now you've talked about the pivotal role a lot of these bench players are playing, like Xavier Tillman, like Killian, Santi, Brandon, John, all these players. And there's some great continuity in this organization, I can tell you that. And I think that's a huge reason for their success. It's not all just Ja. It starts with Ja, but it just trickles down to the 10th, 11th, 12th man.
As always, Andy, we thank you. We'll do this again next week. Rama, I want to talk a little bit about the battle between what I think is going to be great, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and your Bulls in Chicago, especially now that
fun to
Kyrie
watch.
is playing. We'll get into that situation, too. Thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Bulls and Warriors tonight will be a good one.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend. Looking forward to watching that one.
Me too. That is Andy Schiffman, our man in Chicago. He's brought to you by The Spirit Shop. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, go see Eddie Connor. You want to learn about spirits, you want an education about the greatest bourbons, about the newest tequilas, and you can get some tequilas that are way up there. He'll explain the differences. He'll tell you the up-and-comers. Same thing with wine. Same thing with even the local beers, all the IPAs. He's got it there. You're interested in old Dominic products. He's got those spirits right in the Spirit Shop. You're looking for a rub, for a drink. He's got that. Anything that has spirits in it. He knows it, and he's got it right at that little log cabin, 4848 Poplar Avenue. That is Poplar and St. Nick. Family-owned and operated since 1969. Eddie Connor's family loves to just chat with you and educate you. It's a cool place, centrally located. Go stock up for the weekend. For the NFL playoffs. You want the latest, you want the greatest. You go to the Spirit Shop at Poplar and St. Nick. We want to thank Andy Schiffman. We want to thank Steve Earhart. You heard his prediction, a 12-team playoff, probably starting in 2026. We'll talk Monday, Memphis and East Carolina, and more. See you then.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear